article as adjective. Really? Article is adjective? Yes, article is adjective. And in order to learn this concept, stay connected with us in part 2. In part 2, we will proving that article is adjective really in English grammar. Assalamu alaikum. Hello viewers, hope you are all well and enjoying your life. I welcome you all to the channel of Learn with MW. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We are starting part 2 of adjective. What is it? Not adjective, it is adjective. So, in order to start part 2 of adjective, I want to give you a short recall about part 1. Viewers, in part 1, we have given you the short introduction about adjective, that what is adjective in English grammar. And we also define adjective from a very different angle and from a very different perspective and in the style of grammarian. We also discuss some sort of knowledge about descriptive adjective, which is basically adjective of quality. And we also discuss some sort of information about adjective of quantity. Wait it out, we will be discussing in our further videos types of adjective in detailed manner. So connect with Learn with MW in order to know types of adjective in detail. And in part 1 viewers, we also have discussed the position of adjective in a very grammatical and conceptual way. We have discussed the two positions of adjective. One is we discuss attributive position and we also discuss predicative position. So viewers, if you missed the part 1 of adjective, go through the channel and watch that video. So viewers, now in part 2, we will be discussing a very important concept, and that concept is article as adjective. Really? Article is adjective? Yes, article is adjective. And in order to learn this concept, stay connected with us in part 2. In part 2, we will proving that article is adjective really in English grammar. So stay connected with us in this video. So in order to start this concept that article is adjective, I want to give you a short recall about adjective that we have explained in part 1. So basically I have mentioned earlier in part 1 that adjectives are those words which basically aid meaning to a noun or pronoun. In terms, pronouns either in terms of two things. One thing is in term of quality, and the second thing is in term of quantity. So viewers, we have discussed this concept in very detail in our part 1 of adjective. Those words which basically add meaning to a noun or pronoun, either in term of quality or either in term of quantity. Those words are basically called adjectives in English grammar. Now, in part 2, the concept that we are going to discuss is article as adjective. Article as an adjective. Viewers, don't confuse it right now. We will be uploading a full series of article on our channel, Learn with MW. We will discussing article in very detail and conceptual manner. This is just a short introduction that why, or a very basic concept that why article is an adjective. So we will proving this concept in part 2. Why article? So viewers, in order to start this concept that why article is an adjective, I want to give you a short introduction about article. That what are articles in English grammar? They basically Articles are basically adjective. We will be proving in this video, but there are basically two articles in English grammar. One article is basically indefinite article, indefinite article, and indefinite article, and article, which are a and n. These two, a and n, are basically indefinite article, and the second one is definite article. So this is just a short introduction to article. That what is article? Article is basically adjective, but in order to prove that why article is adjective, there are basically two types of adjective. One is indefinite article and other is definite article. And viewers, a and n are basically indefinite article, and the D is the only article which is definite article in English grammar. So as the name indicate, this is not specific, indefinite, and definite article will basically referring to the specific things or person. We will be discussing indefinite article and definite article. We will be discussing it in very detail and in conceptual way, and we will also discussing all the rules of indefinite and definite article in the series of article. Not now, this is just a short introduction about article. Now we will go on, we will carry on our own concept, and our concept or the question that we're going to answer is that why article is an adjective in English grammar. That why article is an adjective in English grammar. So look it, I'm writing a very short example, and through this example, viewers, you will know that why article is adjective in English grammar. So look it, I'm writing an example, and a very short example. Look it, a man. A very short example, but in this short example, a very important concept is hidden, and this hidden concept we will now explore it. So stay connected with us to explore a hidden concept in this short example. So now look it, I have write the example a man. So a man is a very short example. So look at what we call noun. Nouns are basically name. So man is a name, so noun. Man is basically noun. And viewers, look at a is basically, we have now recently discussed it, that a is basically indefinite article in English grammar. Indefinite. A is basically indefinite article. Now through this short example, we will be exploring a very important concept, article. So indefinite article, a is basically indefinite article, and man is basically a name, and naming words are basically called nouns in English grammar. So man is basically noun. Now amen, this whole sentence, amen, the meaning of this whole sentence, amen basically mean one person. So look it, amen is a sentence, and the meaning of this sentence is one person. So now look at, man is basically a noun, a is indefinite article, but this a indefinite article basically what does it? It basically aid meaning. It basically aid meaning to the noun man, to the noun, and the noun is men. This basically add meaning to this word men, and men is basically noun in English grammar because it is a name. And we have discussed it in part 1 that those words which add meaning to a noun or pronoun are basically called adjectives in English grammar. So a is indefinite article, but here why it add meaning in noun? Because one, a is basically showing us quantity. A is basically showing us quantity, one person. So a is indefinite article, and it add meaning to the noun men because the meaning which add is basically showing us quantity. So those words which add meaning to the noun or pronoun either in term of quality, either in term of quantity. We call them adjectives in English grammar. That's why article is adjectives in English grammar. So now we have explored the whole concept that why article is adjective in English grammar. So took a screenshot of this concept. This is a very important concept, and in every competitive exam this question raised that why article is adjective in English grammar. So through this short example we have explored that concept that article is adjective because it adds meaning to the noun or pronoun in a sentence. So took a screenshot of it. I will be giving you further example as well. So hope viewers you have took a screenshot. Now I will be giving you further example in order to explore this concept and make this concept easy to you, because this is all about Learn with MWO to give you conceptual way. So look at the second example. I'm writing I have a friend. I have a friend. So look at this concept. The concept will be now more clear. So I have write an example. I have a friend. So look at friend is basically name, and names are basically called nouns in English grammar. Now look at a is basically indefinite article. Indefinite article. And this whole sentence, I have a friend, this whole sentence mean I have a friend. I have one friend. In Urdu we call it out mera ek dost hai. In English it means I have one friend. So I have a friend, this basically means I have one friend. In Urdu we call it mera ek dost hai. I have one friend. So look at the same is basically shows quantity one. So those words which basically add meaning to a noun or pronoun either in term of quality or either in term of quantity, those words are basically called adjectives in English grammar. So in this sentence is basically indefinite article, but it add meaning to the noun friend in term of quantity. That's why is basically different, but that's why is basically called adjective. So now look at, we have learned the concept that why article is an adjective, because article is basically adding meaning to the noun in term of quantity, and those words which add meaning to the noun or pronoun either in term of quality, either in term of quantity are basically called adjectives in English grammar. So now took a screenshot of this as well. We will be discussing further example as well. I hope you took a screenshot. Now through further example we will make it more clear that why article is adjective in English grammar. So look at, I'm writing at the same time the three example. So look at the example number one is, this is the example number one, the sun. Number two is the earth, and number third is the east. So look at all of these are three examples that I have written on the board. So look at all these three, sun, earth and east are basically names, and naming words are basically called noun in English grammar. So sun, earth, east, these are basically called noun. And look at the is basically definite article. What is it? It is basically definite article. The is basically definite article in English grammar. But the sun, the earth, the east, the definite article, the is basically adding. This is basically adding in all of these three examples. The is basically adding Add meaning. Add meaning to the noun. Add meaning to the nouns. To the nouns sun, to the noun sun, to the noun earth, and to the noun east. In terms of quality, not quantity this time. So in all of these three examples, sun, earth, east are basically noun in English grammar because their name. The is basically definite article in English grammar. In all of these three examples, the definite article the basically add meaning to the noun sun, earth, east, in term of quality. And we have learned that those words which basically add meaning to the noun or pronoun, either in term of quality or either in term of quantity, are basically called adjective. So that's why these definite article. But here all of these in all of these three examples, the is basically add meaning to the noun sun, earth, east. That's why the is basically adjective in English grammar. So viewers, we have learned the concept that why article is an adjective in English grammar. So viewers, now in part 2 we have discussed a very important concept, and the concept was that why article is adjective in English grammar, and we have learned through example. So viewers, stay connected with Learn with MW in order to learn further concept regarding adjectives in English grammar. So viewers, if you like this video, share this video with your friends, like and subscribe the channel as well, and don't forget to comment. Thank you very much.